Let me ask you something you may have never said out loud, but you've absolutely felt. Am I losing myself while trying to help him? Because when your partner has a trauma history, it can start to feel like your whole life revolves around his moods, his triggers, his shutdowns, his healing. I remember looking at myself in the mirror one day thinking, where did I go? When did this relationship become about keeping him okay instead of both of us being okay? And if you've ever felt that, this episode is for you because you can support him without disappearing. You need clarity, boundaries, and a trauma-informed understanding of what belongs to you and what never did. When he gets overwhelmed or shuts down or checks out emotionally, you naturally start compensating. You read the room before he speaks. You anticipate triggers. You manage conflict. You keep the peace. You carry the emotional weight that his nervous system cannot hold. Not because you wanted to, but because the unpredictability forced you to adapt. And here's the danger. The more responsibility you take on, the more invisible you become. You disappear through 1,000 tiny moments where you say, I'll handle it. I don't want to set him off. I'll stay so small so he can stay okay. And eventually you forget what you need because you're surviving his emotional world. Let me pause here because sometimes we don't realize how much we've disappeared until someone names it out loud. Here are some of the signs you may be losing yourself inside this relationship. You're constantly on alert. You feel responsible for his moods. You walk on eggshells without even realizing it sometimes. You've stopped doing things that you enjoy. You don't remember the last time you prioritized yourself. You feel invisible. You feel like the marriage only works because you manage it. You're exhausted in ways you can't explain. You settle for less and call it keeping the peace. If you have heard yourself in any of these, I want you to hear me clearly. You should never have to vanish to keep your marriage afloat. Your identity matters. Your voice matters. Your needs matter. Your happiness matters. This isn't about being selfish. It's about being whole. This question, will I lose myself, matters because it's not dramatic. It's not exaggerated. And it's not coming from insecurity. It's coming from emotional overload. When your nervous system is constantly managing his emotions, you don't have capacity left for your own. You stop checking in with yourself. You stop asking what you need. You stop dreaming, hoping, resting, enjoying, and slowly you start to disappear. Helping him heal should never require you to erase yourself. Let me give you the clearest truth of this entire episode. You are responsible for your voice, your boundaries, your regulation, and your identity. You are not responsible for healing the trauma you didn't cause. You're not responsible for fixing his past, for preventing every trigger, for absorbing his emotions, for walking on eggshells, being his therapist, sacrificing your joy so he stays stable. That is not support. That is self-erasure. Healthy relationships require co-responsibility, not over-responsibility. You cannot carry both your nervous system and his. So how do you love him deeply without losing yourself along the way? Number 1, build boundaries that protect your identity. Boundaries aren't rejection. They're clarity. They keep you from disappearing inside his emotional storms. Number 2, recognize dysregulation. Don't personalize it. This is where the stump versus bear metaphor changes everything. When he gets defensive or shuts down, he's reacting to something old, not you. Once you understand that, you stop absorbing his reactions as your fault. Number 3, reclaim the parts of you that went quiet. Your joy matters. Your friendships matter. Your dreams matter. Your independence matters. You don't have to pause your entire life while he learns to regulate his nervous system. Number 4, use the pause method. Press pause. Accept it's not about you. Unlock the clues. Seek support. And then engage when ready. This keeps you grounded so you don't get swept into his dysregulation. And number 5, let him carry his part of the healing. You can walk beside him, but you cannot walk for him. Healing is his work. Your healing is your work. That's how you stay whole together. So here's what I want you to carry with you. You do not have to lose yourself to love him. You do not have to shrink or silence yourself or carry every emotional burden to keep the relationship afloat. You can support him and stay grounded. You can love him and still honor yourself. You can show up for him without disappearing inside his pain. You are allowed to exist in this relationship fully, boldly, and without apology. If this resonated, make sure you subscribe and check the links below for tools that may help you stay where you are building a healthier, safer marriage together. You don't have to do this alone. I'm right here with you.